Mario and Luigi's Superstar Saga walkthrough, playthrough, whatever you want to call it. Here we're going to be doing the boss on top of the Hoo-Hoo Mountain Summit, and we're going to run into Blablanodon here. Fools! So the first real boss in this game, or at least what I'm going to call the first real boss, and this is going to be Dragonhoho. So at first we're going to be trying to shrink him down a little bit to size. Holy cow, that did a lot of damage. And there we go. Now we'll be able to do some bros moves on him. And this just makes him a tiny bit easier to manage, although I don't know if that's even true because he'll just be kind of annoying no matter what you do. And his attack, like when he does his face up that way, he's going to attack Mario, but you can just double jump with both of them and dodge it either way, so it doesn't really matter. But even to this day, I keep missing that. He still is pretty annoying, so now he's going to use that block to jump on, and I could break it, but then he just spit out another one, so there's really no reason for me to do that. I'm just going to go straight after him, and it's going to be kind of... Whoops, jeez. It's kind of weird dodging these, because it just is. Yeah, see, that kind of sucks. Oh! Wow! I don't think I've died here in a long time. Jeez. Sorry, Mario. Okay, now if I were smart, I'd give him both mushrooms right now, but I'm not smart, so we're just gonna try to YOLO it, and hopefully I'll dodge the others. Nope. Okay, got it. Like, dodging Mario there is just really weird timing. Okay, got that. And he's dead. So, okay, one used one-up mushroom, but not a big deal. Got a super mushroom in return. And they level up, I think, once again. I'm probably gonna get their defense up. Or, you know, let's get their hit points up. I haven't done that in a while. 2 is not very high, but I'll go with it. Okay, so if we ever want to go back to the top of the summit, we just have to talk to Blablanodon again, but as we saw there, that was Prince Peasley in all of his glory, and he was someone that I really did not like when I first played this game. But these days I think he is just so awesome because he is that kind of character you sort of hate. But we got the golden rose, or the green rose, and we're going to show that once we get to Beanbean Castle. And this is something I sort of miss from older games, is that like he just says, hey, go to Beanbean Castle. It doesn't really tell you exactly where to go. And the way the world's designed, you're going to make it there eventually, so it's pretty cool. So anyway, we got to walk in here, and now we're going to get our hammers. Okay, so we finally got our hammer, and as he said, we just push R to activate it, and then we can swing it this way, so let's go break that rock. And there's going to be 2 more hammer upgrades throughout the game that we're going to be getting eventually, but we can't get them yet. Also, Luigi can activate his hammer now, and he can hit Mario, who gets a little bit angry at him for that. So now we're going to go down and break that block. We can just kind of jump down here. And we're gonna break this block, right? We're gonna break that block that Fawful put in our way very rudely, and we're gonna grab some nuts. Now, if I'm remembering correctly, I think nuts, yeah, they give both bros hit points, which are very useful. So nuts are probably better than mushrooms, although mushrooms are really good when one person just needs a bunch of health quickly. And then, of course, there's gonna be even more rocks here that they're gonna want us to use, as well as a flaming rock, which we can't do anything with, and if you touch it, you just kind of get hurt. So let's jump up here. We'll smash down this block, and then we can get into the water fountain here. And now we can actually use the hammer with Luigi, and we can spray 3 little bursts of water with Mario instead of just one big long stream. So this is good because later on we're going to be using this way more, and it lets you spray water way farther than it would if you didn't use the hammer. So I think I'll probably save after, I'll save now, but I'll probably end the video after we do this next part. Now, I mentioned before how difficult it is to actually get out of Hoo-Hoo Village, or how difficult it is to even get back in, and this area over here helps a little bit. I'll show this off first, but I mean, there's a couple of boxes here, and there's a bean right there, so I'll be coming back for all this. But anyway, once we get out there, we'll be able to climb up here and then jump down, but we can't really get out that way. So I don't know why they made Hoo-Hoo Mountains so isolated, but there's really no easy way to get in here, because if we wanted to come back this way, that would just not be very fun. So anyway, this is going to be some minecarts, and these were also a very extremely annoying minigame when I first did these, but these days they're not too bad. So the carts are a pretty interesting minigame, and you can explain it if you want, but the concept's pretty easy. You use Mario and Luigi, and you jump with Mario and Luigi, and then one of them will have a light that you have to shine on Luigi. So Luigi can jump, Mario can jump, And you kind of want to have the light in front of Luigi, and you also have to pick up batteries, or else your flashlight will run out of energy. But anyway, you kind of want to have the light in front of Luigi so you can see what's coming. And at first, there's not a whole lot that's going to be terrible. There's going to be some gems that Luigi will have to jump to get. But there's not going to be a whole lot of enemies. And I believe you need, not for this one, but for the other times, if you ever come back to this minigame, you're going to have to get a certain amount of gems to succeed. And I think, I'm not sure if you have to get any for this first time. But anyway, we saw that thwomp head thing guy fall from the ceiling. And there will be a few of those, but not too many. And then you can tell if the gem's in the background, if it's smaller than the one in the foreground. And you can also just try to jump with both Mario and Luigi if you're not sure. And I'm pretty sure one's green and one is red, but I'm colorblind, so I don't really know. So anyway, that's all 11 gems, and I think I might be able to get 15 gems. And if you hit one of those, I believe you lose some gems, so try to avoid them. Whoops. Okay, good, I did get it. And yep, here's the final 2 gems, and there we go. Okay, so we do have to get 10 gems to succeed this part. And this is another one of those mini games you can return to later, and you do get some okay prizes. I don't think there's anything too spectacular, but if you want to do it just for the sake of completion, then here it is. Just remember how to come back. So that dog's life is near the end, I guess. I don't know if he's the same or a different one than the other dog, because he doesn't have his little dog friend with him, but kind of a sad story there. And now we get into the big, grand old world of Beanbean Kingdom. And I think I'm going to go through the hammer tutorial. In fact, I may as well just get to the Beanbean City, where the castle is. I may as well just go to there in this video. So here's another tutorial that we're going to be unable to skip, which kind of annoys me, but you know, what are you going to do? It's filled with suspense! Suspense! Okay, so we learned how to use our hammers, and these are rocks that we will not be able to break for a pretty long time. And, I mean, hammer combat's pretty much the same as it is in jumping combat, but a couple of coins here we're going to grab a hold of. And there's also, we're going to have to come back here later on to get some stuff, so this is a pretty cool place. But pretty much everywhere in this world that you have to go to at some point. So as I said before, if you ever want to go back, you can just come here, and this is that waterfall that I said you can't really jump up. But if you do jump down there, you either have to go through a pipe, which we don't have any others unlocked yet, or you have to go all the way through that minecart again, so just keep that in mind. And then up here, there's this ghost which disappears. We'll be able to use him later, but not yet. And I'm just trying to get myself a grasp on everything again, just to make sure I remember where everything is. So let's continue on the correct way. Anyway, I keep having to mute my microphone for some stupid reason, but anyway, so as we saw there, lucky 15, jeez Mario, I failed spectacularly to hit this guy in the overworld, but dodging these spinies and then hitting them afterwards isn't a big deal. Most people that I know anyway usually skip through this part because these enemies honestly aren't really worth killing, but I'm going to kill a few of them just to show them off a little bit. And the cool thing about the hammer is if the enemy's speed is lower than yours, then they can be stunned for a couple of turns, and that can help pretty a lot when it comes to some enemies, although I'm not really going to focus too much on that. So Luigi's is pretty high. Let's get his power and his hit points are pretty high. I wanted to get his points up, but he apparently didn't want to listen. Now, the problem with the hammer, you have to remember to push L again to get rid of it, because you can't jump when it's selected. And this one, we're probably going to have to fight. Come here! And if you take too long to swing the hammer, or if you miss or something, then your hammerhead will break off, and then it does really low amounts of damage. So that's always pretty funny when that happens, but I'll try to avoid doing that. And yeah, these guys only give like 4 experience, so they're hardly even worth killing. But this really is the glorious world of Beanbean Kingdom, so this sign lets you know the castle town is south, and okay, these guys are kind of fun. Let's fight these guys. They're these weird little worm enemies. Okay, that's like the second time I've missed with Luigi there. I don't know why I'm having such a hard time. Oh! Okay, so I did that one too early. It's gonna take me a little while to get used to these enemies again. And of course, you can't actually jump on the spinies, but you can hammer those guys or jump on them all you want. And then there's this place here that we're gonna come back to because there's a pipe there, but we can't get into it yet. And then there's... this will come into use later. We can get to that cave later. But for now, I think I'm gonna go grab a pipe down to the south here. And that's the way we're supposed to go, but we're gonna break the rules a little bit, and we're gonna try to avoid that guy. Let's just avoid everybody. And there's a pipe over here. See, way more bean spots. So there we go, we have our second pipe, and there's going to be another one inside the castle town that we'll get a hold of. Whoops, not that way. We will eventually go that way, but not yet. Ah! Hate those things. Okay, out of my way, and can't do anything there yet, so... we pretty much are useless in the overworld until we get through Chucklehuck Woods, which is going to be in the next 2 areas, but for now we're going to take a look at this destroyed town. That's always glorious. The horror! And we're going to go into this shop first just to see what they have. Let's buy and see what they've got. We're probably gonna want 5 of these. These can come in handy, but I think I have enough of those. I have no idea what kind of thing either of these are. Now this guy doesn't have armor yet, but he will sell clothes and badges, so we'll do that later. This guy's always kind of funny. Apparently getting a hold of the Beanstar is really bad. And this place is amazing, but I will only talk about that when we finally get there. So there's a save point coming up. I don't know if I have to do the dialogue yet. No, okay. So I'm going to save here, and we will continue through the Beanbean Castle in the next video.